Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. And the moon is in Sagittarius with Mercury squaring Saturn and Neptune with the sun next to Mars in Scorpio opposite Uranus. See, your ass is innovating the whole game right now, and you're about to see into this pure game changer that now that we've kicked off this new cycle is pretty much set to show you its full activation. The setup has been complete, and given the pure energy that was the fuel to propel and blast us off into the higher heavens through our higher perspective, this moon in Sagittarius is manifesting because the Sagittarius moon transit will now come 30 degrees to the sun in Scorpio before it enters Sagittarius. Okay, that 30-degree moon to sun angle is a Taurus signature. That Taurus signature is manifesting what? This activation of pure energy. So what is that going to look like? We are going to see what this pure energy is. Get ready. This is the equivalent of blasting off into space. And the preparation that you had to get yourself mentally prepared to explore these new horizons, took a few months, and we're here. Once the moon goes into Capricorn, after we blast off, Capricorn is now going to help us understand the direction that we take the trajectory. So when we blast off, we are, of course, adjusting our altitude, and then we cruise in a direction. Capricorn is going to be the final part of this pure energy activation where we understand the utilization towards awakening nuclear power and energy, and we need to adjust the perception that we see before we do that. All right, so before you get ready to use these new abilities as an aspect of your transformation, you're going to see what they are and what it means. Props to Hermes. Shout out to Gemini and Virgo. Props to Mercury, because Mercury is going to be our brain processing capability, feeding us intel on what exactly we are feeling and how to actually process it. So relative to this, because this is within the first 30 degrees of that moon to Sagittarius, you are seeing how you are literally changing as this transformation is activating. And the squares to Saturn and Neptune through this synchronization process is guiding your perception to understand the metaphysical properties beyond this physical reality that you only see less than 1% of, in order to, of course, ascend higher your understanding. This is going to look like really, really on point synchronicities as what you are thinking within your inner world matches what you are seeing externally. A lot of these things happen so subtly that a transit like this is going to really pour all this inner work you've been doing out. Yeah. And I think it's going to be very amazing. That square to Saturn is going to anchor the stability so that Neptune can really just draw you deeper and deeper beyond like a rabbit hole. Everything that you start to really understand through this higher perception, you'll fully come to the wisdom of when the moon is subsequently in Pisces. So it's like the entrance to the rabbit hole, whereas moon in Pisces, you're fully deep in it. So don't be too quick to figure stuff out. Don't be too quick to believe a lot of outright made up perceptions and perspectives that people can take advantage of one viewpoint of a situation without the necessary context. All right, that moon square to Neptune is going to be nasty if you just kind of believe anything people make up. It will look convincing. In that moment, it will look like what they're saying is true, and it's not. It's probably not. Or even if it is, once again, without that lack of context, you may not necessarily, lack of context referencing no Virgo energy, no Gemini. So this may not be communicated truthfully, right? Doesn't mean it won't, but just be mindful of that. If we're not making up for that, the lack of that energy just means that we need to make up for it. We have to make sure, okay, what's the truth? What's the context? If you see just people kind of like selling you what they believe based on what they see, they probably don't know what they're talking about. It's only valuable relatively. Don't necessarily get too passionate. Sagittarius and Pisces together is like Brittany Renner getting cornered in a podcast and then twerking on, of course, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Snitchman, and then pouring water on the electronics, which you guys should have known better. You shouldn't have pressured her like that. I can't believe you guys were surprised she acted like that. She's like a rare, endangered, you know what I'm saying, magical beast. And, you know, y'all were trying to play that and were surprised that, you know, she ended up doing all that. Was it Charleston? Charleston. Damn it. But yeah. Legendary stuff. So it's very high passion. It's very irrational. It's not supposed to be rational. Sagittarius and Pisces is not supposed to make sense. It literally shifts all in the moment, but it can tap into things beyond what is on the physical. And when it reacts to that, it's going to look delusional, even though it's still reacting to something that's there. So when you make up for these facets, you get the full picture. The good thing about this is it's going to stretch the bejesus out of your perspective so that you can begin to literally see into supernatural phenomena that ties in experience in situations that are not even physically here with you that apply to you. That helps you see through the answers hidden in plain sight. And because this is, you know, manifesting this activation, this is guiding you towards literally seeing the higher meaning of who you are transforming into. This is also going to look like a manifestation of your abilities at the God level. Tie in everything that you have learned so far and take it to the next level through breaking through your application of it. It's going to be less of a concept and more something you have beyond mastered. And it's going to feel amazing. I also want to keep in mind that because of the trine to Chiron in Aries, a whole lot of things which used to bother you before, because you're so much more aligned with who you are, you're going to really turn that into a strength and accept it more. It's going to add this sense of power. And because Chiron is trans-Saturnian in between Saturn and Uranus, it is a key to harnessing the extra dimensional nature of energy that could be harnessed physically. All right. And you're going to understand the higher vision of how to anchor that and access that based on how you see who you are and understand who you are. This will give you a lot of insight for when the moon goes into Aries, what approach to take for it. Mutable sign transits adjust perspective. They prepare us for cardinal sign transits where we apply that perspective. And of course, we move in that direction powerfully. So before that, this is gonna show you some shit. And like Saturn in Pisces is going to stabilize a very unstable vibration. So like this doesn't not happen once in a while. This happens every time, but you're not really gonna notice it because it's metaphysical. When you put Saturn, the totality of materialization there, it is crystallizing your beliefs. And it is now tying every single habit you've ever had and belief and enabling you to utilize it in a way that not only warps your reality, but almost has you control elements of your imagination. So now that we're manifesting this activation of wisdom, which is taking all these concepts you've learned, updated to this year. Remember, we can look at Aries to Gemini season as a new application that you updated. Well, you've been using this app now for like a good 6 months, and you're getting ready to apply all the wisdom of all the places you've kind of been able to develop your utilization of this. And you want to see this as elevating into the higher realms. This is the transformation of your mortality into godhood through your consciousness. And now the concepts that will really transform your relationship with your physiology will also help you understand the quality of how your body has transformed. Elements of the effect of your natural senses will literally unveil with this sextile of Taurus to Pisces, so that through these 5 senses, you are understanding that you sense sharper, you think sharper, and relative to your own unique eccentricities, this will now transform the integration that was set in place while Venus is still inching closer to that south node. And as it gets closer to Chiron, this is definitely going to trigger relationship dynamics to test how authentic you're maintaining your belief in yourself. You know, not giving in to people's demands that try to manipulate you, but also allowing yourself to be challenged by others who push you out your comfort zone. All right. Really fun transit. This is going to show you the wisdom that you have cultivated. For those of you who know you've struck oil and you're sitting on a gold mine, this is going to show you more how you can allocate. This is going to get ready to take this to the next level. And as this is an activation, what we are manifesting is this ascended perspective. What we are manifesting is this understanding of the vision of this pure energy and wisdom. And in its simplest form, you're going to see the transformation. This is where you're going to start to see the transformation. And once again, Mercury's involved. So if it was just the moon, you'll be feeling, oh, I'm transforming. I wonder what that's like. But Mercury is here. So you're going to be like, oh, that's what it is. That's what this is. That's what this is. Freaking badass. All right. Congratulations. If you want an idea of what this kind of looks like, go watch any video I did like last year or in the beginning of this year and look at the difference between that and now, right? You can see I've applied all these principles to where it streamlines so much quicker because every day I've been flexing this muscle. And that's what this represents. What have you been flexing the brain muscles, the spirit muscles, the physical muscles towards? This is showing you evidence of, you know, that consistency and commitment, which everyone's doing this. So like there's no one on this planet who hasn't been ingraining good and or bad behaviors into their life. So that's why you have to really just point the finger and laugh very disrespectfully at people who really spread this duality trap to say, oh, this is good or this is bad. Oh, you're evil if you do this or if you practice this. An objective scientific element like what I'm doing right now is something that occurs to everybody, whether you believe in it or not. All right. It is literally like the air. You can have different religions and customs who call the air different things and say air is bad or air is good. Everyone breathes the air. The sun is going to transit in the sky every day. All right. These planets are going to transit the way they transit, regardless of if you believe it or not. So just keep that in mind. This isn't necessarily something that you accept or not accept or claim or don't claim. When the meteorologist says it's going to rain, you can really act like, I don't believe in that. And you're going to go out and you're going to get rained on. That's it. Other people will wear an umbrella. You're the one who has the power here. Tarot, astrology, demonized divination arts, they don't have power over you. You're the one who uses your power to express your gifts through them. And you really want to examine a lot of the fallacious beliefs that may still be inhibiting you from people close to your life, people who don't know you, who are so terrified of accepting the truth that goes against their beliefs they identify with. So you feel that you're attacking them, or they're attacking, they feel like you're attacking them, that it does not give them an ability to realize that they're just perpetrating their own insecurities and fears. All right. This is going to be your opportunity to shine the light of your wisdom and basically make up for all the work that is showing itself very profoundly. As a lot of doubters, a lot of people who live their whole life being afraid of what you do, will have no choice but to accept you've kept it true. Peace.